Hello, 6 is receiving students and teachers. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, before we go into today's lesson, can anybody tell me what we looked at in our previous lesson? Or can receiving students, you tell your teacher what you looked at in your previous lesson? Okay, let's hear from Ken.
Different state mix.
Different state mix. We looked at different state mix. Very good. We looked at states like solid and liquid and gas in their different states being mixed. Okay, that's what we looked at yesterday. Now, can anyone tell me an example of the different state being mixed that you looked at in the previous lesson? Okay, let's have our friend here. Right, he will tell us the state and then what the example of it.
Water and tank.
Water and
Water and tank.
tank. Okay, what state are they in? What state is water in?
Water is liquid and tank is solid.
Thank you very much. Okay, water and tank. Water is in liquid state and tank is in solid state. Good. Right, receiving teachers. Today we are still on the same strand and the substrand and the learning outcome. Our topic for today, class and the receiving students, does it dissolve? And this is lesson number 46. Does it dissolve? First of all, let's see what we can come up with. Now, when you see the word dissolve, what does it remind you of? Let's have a minute to think about that. All right. Does it dissolve? Now, we are going to do a mind map. And our friends here in the model class are going to be doing a mind map. And Joshua is going to be helping us drawing up the mind map. Can anybody tell me what dissolve is in your own words? One word that you think is dissolve. Okay, receiving students and class, I want you to make a mind map and you put down one word you think dissolve is. Now, your teacher will help you to put up a mind map similar to the one that we have here on the blackboard. This one. Okay, similar to this. And you are going to be making a mind map today. And I would like you to think of what you can think of when you see the word dissolve. Now, to help you, let me tell you a little story. This morning, I dissolved some coffee into the water, and then I put some coffee into the water. I put some sugar into the water, some milk, and then after dissolving it, I drank coffee before coming to school. I also dissolved some cordial so that I could have that for my lunch. Now, receiving students in class, tell your teacher what you think dissolve is. The word dissolve means. Okay, let's hear from Christina.
Mixed.
Mix. She thinks it is mix. Okay, good. That's one word. That's what she thinks. Mix. Dissolve. Another word for dissolve. Receiving students? Okay, good. You tell your teacher. Right. Maybe it's mix. Luis.
Something that we group them together and mix it.
Okay, put them in groups. Something that we put them in groups and mix them. Good. Okay, let's hear from Helen.
Something that pour in the liquid and disappear.
Something that is
Pour in the liquid and disappear.
poured in the liquid and disappear. Something that we pour in the liquid and disappear. So what's one word you can use? Something we pour and it what? Okay, so what's one word that we can use?
Disappear.
Disappear. Okay, disappear. Receiving students? Okay, hope you're telling your teacher. Good. All right, thank you very much, Jordan. Right, we've got 3 here. We've got 3. The receiving students, the model class thinks it's a mix. Dissolve is mix. Okay, they think that it's something that we put them in groups and mix them. Still looking at mix them. And disappear. Okay, so, right, disappear. Okay, today we will be looking at some of the activities involving dissolving. And at the end of this activity, probably you will understand what dissolving is. Now, class and the receiving students, I would like you to copy this table down. If you do not have books, I will give you a minute to do that. All right, class and the receiving students, by now you would have copied the table down. Receiving students, if the table is too small for you, do not worry. Your teacher is closer to the board, so can make that bigger. Today, you are going to be collecting small amounts of different substances like sugar. We've got sugar here in a container. The class have brought sugar. We also have salt, a bit of salt there, flour. We've got flour in this container. Okay, so there's flour in there. We've got some flour in there. Some milk powder. There's some milk powder in the plastic. We've got curry. Okay, curry there. And we also have soil. Okay, there's soil there. And we will also be using oil. We have oil there. Right, those are some of the things that we are going to be using in today's lesson. Now we are going to do our experiment. What we are going to do now is we will now half fill a glass jar with clean water. So group leaders, you can get the water here. Receiving students, I hope you have water there. You can get your water.
Can we get our soil too? Our soil? The soil, we'll get it too.
Right. The beaker will have to be, receiving students, you can use glass jar. Here we are using beaker, half-filled beaker. The next thing you are going to do is you are going to add a half teaspoonful of one of the substance and stir. Okay, probably so. First one we are going to look at is sugar. While you are doing that, receiving students and class, you write down your observations. You write down your observations. When you are writing down your observations on the chart, please do that like we have on the chart there. So you are going to observe what happens and record your results on the table. You observe what happens and record your results on the table. Okay, so you should have your table like this. We are going to be working with sugar, salt, flour, milk powder, oil, soil, and curry. Now, the hint at the bottom here, when you are recording your results, you try to, when making your observations, do try to see if the substance dissolves. Is the water clear or cloudy? Or what is the color of the water after mixing? The color of the water after mixing. Right, receiving students and class, for those who did not bring salt, on the screen now is salt being put into the water and is being mixed. All right, the next one is when you finish that, sugar and salt. Number 5, you clean the jar or test tube or the glass that you are using, and then you clean it out and use another substance. So after you have done that with sugar, clean it out, and then you do that with salt. And after you have done that with salt, you move on to the next one, which is flour. That's for the model class. Now on screen we have the flour being mixed. Now that it has been mixed, you observe the mixture. Remember, when making your observations, try to see if the substance dissolves. If the substance dissolves, or you try to give whether the water is clear or cloudy according to our activity. Is the water clear or cloudy? Right. Class and receiving students, on screen now we are trying to look at milk powder being mixed. Okay, you do your observation and then check to see if the solution itself, see if it is clear or cloudy, and the color of the water after mixing. Right, now that we finished milk powder, we will be looking at oil. Let's see if oil can dissolve in water. Start writing down your observations. Right, see if oil can dissolve in water, and you write down what you can observe happening to the oil. Right. Now you write down what you think has happened to oil and water. Right, now we are going to move over and look at soil. Soil is now being put in there. Okay. See the soil being mixed and the color of the liquid. Is it clear or cloudy? Is it clear or cloudy? You put that down. Okay, now let's take a look at curry. Curry has been poured in, and a bit of a mixture is being given for curry. Okay, you describe whether the curry dissolves or is the water clear or cloudy. Put down the color of the water. All right, class and the receiving students, your friends here in the model class have come up with the following. Sugar, this is the result from the experiments that was conducted. The sugar dissolved in water, but the water is still clear. So for sugar, it is not cloudy, but it is clear. Salt, same as sugar, it dissolved, but it was still clear. Okay, so that is correct. Salt is also correct there. Flour, the flour dissolved in water, but it looked cloudy. Very good. It is type of mixture which dissolved, but it partly dissolved, and it looked cloudy. Okay, so if you will see from sugar and salt there, for sugar and salt, it looks clear because it is a solution. It is a solution. That is why it looked clear. We call that a solution. If it looks clear, then it is called a solution. Now, for the flour, The flour dissolved. Well, it did not really dissolve, but it partly dissolved and gave a cloudy mixture. Now that cloudy mixture is called everyone together? Suspension. After that, it's going to it will settle down and the flour particles may sink to the bottom. Okay, so that is why it is a suspension. So whenever a mixture is clear, we call that solution. And whenever it is cloudy, we call that suspension. Okay, so that's solution, and what you were doing was solution and suspension. Very good. Now, let us look at our summary for today. You ready to copy down your summary notes? Right, the first one there. A clear mixture shows that a substance is a solution. And the second one, a cloudy mixture shows that a substance is a suspension. Okay, quickly take down those two summary points. Right, by now you should have completed copying down your summary note. Let us look at our key phrase for today. Our key phrase, everyone, solution and suspension. That is our key phrase. Our next lesson, soil and water. And the materials needed for the next lesson. The materials needed for the next lesson is given there. All right, class and receiving students. After this lesson, do not throw away what you did on the mixture of soil and water. The one that you did on the mixture of soil and water, like what I'm doing now, we are going to be using this. So after this lesson, you mix that and put it at the corner of your classroom and leave that, because we are going to be using this in our next lesson. With that, thank you very much, 6Es and receiving students, for your participation.